My dear friend, can you feel the presence of wealth within you at this very moment? Not as some distant hope or future possibility, but as a living, breathing reality that exists right now in the realm of imagination. I speak to you today, not as someone who discovered a method or technique, but as one who has uncovered the eternal truth that has always existed, that the world of Caesar is merely a shadow, a reflection of your own wonderful human imagination. Most seekers wander endlessly in the desert of manifesting techniques, desperately clinging to vision boards and affirmations, while the true secret lies dormant within them. They seek outside what can only be found within. You see, the world you experience is not separate from you. It is your consciousness pushed out, made visible and tangible in what we call reality. For over 30 years, Neville Goddard explored the mysteries of scripture and consciousness, only to discover that man's imagination is God himself operating in the human frame. The ancient wisdom concealed in scripture was never about worshipping an external deity, but recognizing the divine creative power that sleeps within you, waiting to be awakened. You need not beg or plead with some distant force for prosperity. The wealth you seek already exists within the infinite treasury of your imagination. When you enter the state of consciousness where you are already the person you desire to be, wealthy, abundant, prosperous, the external conditions must reorganize themselves to mirror this internal shift. This is law, as precise and undeviating as any in physics. The great mistake of modern manifestation teachings is treating imagination as merely a tool rather than the very substance of reality itself. Your consciousness is not something you possess, it is what you are. And once you truly grasp this principle, you will never again waste precious time with techniques that treat manifestation as something to be attained rather than a power to be assumed. Today, I will reveal to you 3 profound misconceptions that keep most seekers eternally separated from their desires. These revelations will shatter the illusions that have kept you bound to limitation and lack. You will discover why visualization alone fails to produce results, why persistence is often misunderstood, and why feeling, not thinking, is the true secret to manifestation. The first shocking truth that few truly comprehend is that manifestation is not about attracting anything at all. The very concept of attraction implies separation between you and your desire. But I tell you this, the world is not something outside of you to which you must send your thoughts like radio signals, hoping to receive what you desire in return. No, the world is your consciousness made visible. When Scripture declares, "The kingdom of heaven is within you," it reveals that all you seek already exists in the realm of imagination. Your work is not to create it, but to claim it. Imagination creates reality. I have always taught, not imagination influences reality, or imagination eventually leads to reality, but creates it wholly and completely. When you imagine yourself wealthy with the full feeling of possession, you are not visualizing a possibility. You are experiencing a reality on a different level of consciousness. And it is this level that precedes and determines physical experience. Consider the case of my friend who desired a promotion seemingly impossible due to company policy. Rather than focusing on changing external circumstances, he assumed the feeling of already occupying the position. Each night before sleep, he experienced the congratulations of colleagues, the pride in his new office, the satisfaction of increased responsibility. Within weeks, against all company precedent, a special position was created specifically for him. The external rearranged itself to match his internal assumption. The second misconception plaguing most manifestation teachings is the emphasis on repetition, as if reality can be worn down through persistence like water eroding stone. This misunderstands the nature of consciousness. You need not affirm or visualize repeatedly what you already accept as true. Do you repeatedly affirm you have a name, that you live where you live? Of course not. It is simply your state of being. Living from the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled with such natural conviction that it requires no repetition. When you truly live from the consciousness of wealth, you no longer affirm "I am wealthy." You simply are. Your actions, decisions, and responses flow naturally from this state of being. This is why many who spend hours visualizing see no results. They are affirming precisely what they do not believe to be true. Feeling is the secret, not as an emotional high or temporary excitement, but as the calm, natural assumption of already being what you desire to be. It is the difference between acting wealthy and knowing you are wealthy. The outer world must conform to this inner knowing, not as miracle, but as natural law. The third and perhaps most pervasive misconception is that manifestation requires positive thinking and high vibrational states. This half-truth has created generations of frustrated seekers who suppress negative emotions while plastering smiles over unhealed wounds. The law of assumption cares nothing for positivity. It responds only to what you accept as real. This is why my teaching of revision offers true liberation. When an unwanted event occurs, you need not deny it or force positive thoughts upon it. Instead, you revise it, reimagine it as you wish it had occurred, and through the divine gift of imagination, you actually alter its effects on your consciousness and futures. This is not denial, but the profound understanding that the past exists only in consciousness and can therefore be transformed through the same power. Now that you understand these three fundamental truths, that the world is consciousness externalized, that living from the end transcends repetition, and that feeling, not positive thinking, is the creative force, you must integrate them into your daily experience. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, that interval when consciousness shifts most naturally, I invite you to practice this simple exercise. Assume the state of already possessing great wealth. Not by visualizing money or possessions, but by capturing the feeling of financial freedom. How would you breathe if financial concern were forever removed from your experience? How would your shoulders rest? What thoughts would occupy your mind if survival were no longer your focus? Feel the natural gratitude that would arise, not as an affirmation but as the spontaneous response to abundance. Fall asleep in this consciousness, knowing that as you slumber, the infinite intelligence within you is rearranging circumstances to match your assumption. Some will ask, "But Neville, what if I try this and nothing happens?" To them I say nothing happens, only when you have not truly assumed the state. When assumption is perfect, results are guaranteed by law. Others question, "How long must I persist?" And I remind them, you need not persist in what you know to be true. Would you persist in believing you have a name? The moment you genuinely assume the feeling of wealth with the same certainty, manifestation is not merely possible but inevitable. Remember, your imagination is not a force you use. It is the very essence of what you are. You are the operant power, the awareness behind all creation. Scripture calls this power I am, the name of God given to Moses. When you declare I am wealthy, you are invoking this divine creative force. Now, knowing what you know, you can abandon the endless techniques that treat manifestation as something outside yourself. Begin tonight to live from the consciousness of already being what you desire, and watch as the world reshapes itself to mirror your assumption. For this is the true secret that has always been hidden in plain sight. Imagination is not the means to an end. It is the creative substance of the universe itself.